Odd that, hold on.
Is that Mr. Todd? Hi. Sorry, I'm running in. Meeting is called to order on January 1, 2024 at 12:03 p.m. Heather, would you please call the roll?
Yep, Jack Gregg,
Here.
Chris Smith,
Here.
Susan Court. Here. Nicholas Balkin.
Here.
We also have Kathy McDonald of the Women's League. Here. Doug Olson of the Men's League.
Here.
Todd Fitterer,
Here.
Steve Link,
Here.
Bryce Wadeen. Here. I'm Heather Kaler, Parks staff along with the last three. Sorry, I did not see your titles.
And we still do have one vacant position, is that correct?
Correct.
Susan, would you and Kathy explore with your members of the Ladies League? Maybe someone else would be in.
I've sent out messages, but they have to be a city residence, and so the people who are interested aren't.
Oh, okay. Darn. Okay. All right, public comment, anything from the public on the items on the agenda? Hearing none, I'd like a motion to accept the minutes as presented by the stamp, the summary and the link.
I'll make a motion, we accept the December minutes.
We hear a second?
Second.
Motion passed. Okay, under new business, we welcome our new board member, Nicholas Balkin. Glad to have you on.
Glad to be here.
And Bob is our visitor that is not on the member. on the
No,
board,
but
you
no,
would
no,
like
I
to
am,
be, but,
I'd like to be, but I gotta wait 2 years.
Being on the HCC says, no, you can't be on two. All right, next item of business is officer elections. Up for this year are the chair, vice chair, and secretary. Do I hear any nominations for the chair?
I nominate Jack Ray to remain as president or chair.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jack Gregg is declared the chairperson for the year 2024. Next is vice chair. Do I hear any nominations? I nominate Chris Smith. Do I have a second to my nomination?
I'll second it.
Second by Susan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let me back up and say, for the chair, all in favor, say aye, please. Forgot to have that vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And, the last position is secretary, and I nominate Susan Court. Do I have a second?
Second.
Nicholas, second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Were there any other nominations for any positions? I didn't call in second, but hearing none, we proceed to public comment on new business items. Okay. Unfinished business. We'll have a raffle meeting update, and Todd and I have met with Andy Popro, who was very instrumental in conducting the prior raffle for the entrance sign and the beautification of that area.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how many years ago, but anyways, he just broke down what he had done in that, for that raffle, and basically it was decide how many tickets, the price, the prizes, print the tickets and start selling. Now, they had raised just under $10,000 for that entry sign at $20 a ticket. Was that correct? What he said, Rod, I believe, was $20 a ticket for that one.
I assume, yeah, because they didn't have,
They only had,
they had 500 tickets,
500.
so that is correct.
yeah. So, and that one they sold out, they raised the amount of money they wanted to raise. And they had also had a discount if you bought five, what was it, 5 for 100 or something like that.
6 for 100.
Or whatever it was, there wasn't a 1 ticket discount for
Yeah.
buying a block, you know. Of 100, maybe it was 25 a ticket, I can't remember. They had, prizes were a pass for a multi-year pass, actually, that we did not get from the city commission. There was also different, I believe, quite a bit of merchandise that was on the raffle, and can't remember if there was a season pass for golf cart and range or not. Anyways, they were very successful in the price ranges that they had. Todd and I discussed with Andy what he thought we should be setting the prices for the tickets, and we were thinking at $10 a ticket, and to try to raise approximately $20,000. That would get us a sizable chunk of the forecasted expense for it, which is right around 20,000, correct, Todd?
Mhm.
And we were thinking that with one season ticket or one season pass, and all these prizes would begin in the 2025 season. And if we could get something from the ladies and from the men's league to add into those, that would be attractive to golfers to purchase tickets. Plus, Todd was looking at getting some merchandise that would be contributed at cost. Of course, the cost portion would have to be paid out of from what we receive in our proceeds. Nothing has been set in stone at this point. We would, like I said, we would like to see some donation of prizes. Individuals are more than welcome to donate prizes. We had tossed around the discount of, you buy 5 tickets, it's $45, and 10 tickets at $10 would be $90 to encourage sales. Any ideas are greatly appreciated. When we left that was last Thursday, it was cold and the weather was not cooperative, but Todd was going to contact, or will be contacting Allegro to find out what the printing costs, because if we're at $10 a ticket, that would mean we'd have to sell 2,000, which is a bunch, but at $10 each, they would not be, I think it would be where people would buy a bundle of them versus just 1 or 2. So it might sell fast or not. We had
Let's
said,
hold on.
go ahead, Todd.
Let's just stop right there. Basically, what are your guys' opinions on the ticket price? first off, this group, I mean, is $10 too much, or is it too little, and should we, because we were starting to contemplate, should we charge $20 a ticket? Then you only have to sell 1,000, I mean, the cheaper the price, the more you have to sell, obviously. So basically, what are your comments, for the price of the raffle ticket? Anybody?
For me, first, what's your goal? Is it the goal to sell a set number or sell as many as you can to even maybe raise more than the 20,000?
Idea basically being a set number.
Okay,
Well, Jack, I mean, my sense is that, we would sell a lot more tickets at, $10 per ticket than we would at 20. But that's just my personal hunch.
Which is what's needed at $10 a ticket, because you gotta sell, you gotta sell double.
Yeah.
My question, or I guess basically the way I was thinking was, can we sell 2,000 tickets? I mean, that's a lot of tickets. I don't know how hard it was for them to sell 500. Andy didn't really tell us that. He said it wasn't that difficult. They sold 500 pretty quickly,
Yes, they did.
what's pretty quickly? A week,
a couple months.
a couple months, okay.
You've got a whole year. If you're gonna.
We do have a whole year. I mean, we're planning on this, these permanent water stations going in hopefully the spring of 2025. But I don't think you want your raffle too far dated out, just because people will, I mean, you're gonna forget if it's, 10 months from now.
So how did they sell them? Did people go out and sell them, or did you just do it at the pro shop?
They had both. They did it at the pro shop, did it at Muni's, and then they had a bunch of individuals that went out and sold tickets. And I think it would take a combination to sell 2,000 tickets. I think it would be a combination of everybody. I mean, they're gonna have to sell them at men's league nights, they're gonna have to sell them at ladies league nights. We keep them available, and then, whoever, whoever's in charge, maybe designate some people, hey, can you work on selling these raffle tickets?
To me, the goal would be to wrap this up in late August and to have the drawings for the prizes. And the only way we're going to keep that interest up is if we do have a cutoff date, okay, tickets, unsold tickets would be destroyed by a certain date, just to keep that pressure on it. I don't know how otherwise to do it, because like Todd said, if we keep it out for the
Well, I think
beginning of next year.
I think according to those rules so we printed off the raffle rules of Montana. I think according to those rules, you have to pick a date.
You do have to figure it out.
And list prizes and that kind of stuff. But again, my first question was, ladies, what do you think? Do you think $10 a ticket's too much?
No, not too much, sure.
You think it's too little?
I myself would buy two at $10, $20 that.
You buy one.
I would buy one, so either way.
Either way, it's the same.
And I think if you're gonna go do multiple, I don't mind the 5 for 45, but I think the 10 should be 80. Just so it's a round number for people. And it encourages people to jump on the 10. It will reduce your income by, if everybody did the 10, you'd only make 16,000, but. If you want, if you sold them quick, maybe you could add more if that's even allowed.
I think the buyer would consider that there's less risk to themselves if they had a $10 ticket rather than a $20 ticket. Because even though they're seeing, oh, $10, or I can buy a whole bundle this year, and my chance of winning something would be next year, rather than a $20, the chance of selling all 2,000 or whatever isn't really that high. I don't believe in the time frame we're given from March until August 2,000 is a lot of tickets. And you know, there's a lot of golfers that ride in a cart that won't see any sense in purchasing
All the
tickets.
prizes would be the past prizes. We believe should be awarded for the 2025 season.
Yeah.
That would be a cart pass or
Mhm.
range pass. The golf pass, only for the 2025. Merchandise and other prizes would be awarded immediately.
Yeah, how are the prizes awarded? Is it just like first come, first serve, or are you buying a raffle ticket or a specific item?
You would buy a raffle ticket, and what we would have to determine is what prizes do each drawing get? Do we start at the low end of the value for the first drawing, and then you work up until you have the yearly pass is the fifth or the sixth or the eighth ticket drawn?
Yeah, so what would happen if, so someone like myself, I wouldn't want the golf cart pass, but I just happen to win it, what happens then?
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that is something we haven't discussed. That's why we.
Yeah.
There's options.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of thoughts, Jack. Just for some perspective, with the ski patrol, the last 3 or 4 years, we've had a fundraising raffle. We've printed 500 tickets and sold them at $10 a piece with no discount for multiples. And we've sold them out every year without a problem. So I think that's just some background. With respect to the drawing order, unless you're going to put a drawn ticket back into the mix, I think you have to start with the top prize, not with the bottom prize. Otherwise, somebody gets pulled first, but they're given the lowest value prize, and then they're out of contention for the higher value prizes. I don't think that would be a very popular way to go. I think you'd have to, unless you put them back in and they've got a chance of being drawn twice. So I think we would start with the top prize.
This is Doug. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Doug.
I tend to agree with Chris a little bit. I think that, because I was involved, I sold a lot of those tickets when we did the signage thing. I'd like to see us stay with $10 because I think it would be more appealing just to the general golfing public that is visiting the golf course. And I don't think we'd have too much trouble over the span of the golf season, the 5 months that we're going to be doing this thing through to get 2,000 tickets sold. And I agree with Chris that if you're going to do the drawing, you take them in highest order down to lowest order. So whoever's the first person drawn would get the pass or whatever the top prize happens to be, a set of golf clubs or whatever, and so on and so forth. And I think if to kind of address what Nicholas was talking about a little bit, I think if somebody got drawn for the golf cart pass or something like that, that in our rules somewhere that we'd have to make some kind of language accommodating, that if you don't want because I know like the MSGA does their drawings and they do a monthly thing for trips and all this other different stuff. And if somebody doesn't want the trip, then what they say in lieu of the trip, we'll give you $200 or we'll give you $500 instead of a $2,000 trip and stuff. So I think that mechanism could be worked out from that standpoint. So, but I think I would like to see us stay at $10 because I think it would kind of bring in a little bit more of the golfing public. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Doug.
Hey, Chris, I had one question. How long, you said the ski patrol sold out of those tickets. How long did it take them to sell 500?
Less than a month.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because we usually get them, in fact, we're working right now on getting tickets for this year's raffle printed. They'll probably be done by, ready to go by the 1st of February, and we have the drawing no later than the middle of March. So, goes pretty quick. And I agree with Doug. I think we could easily sell 2,000 tickets over the course of the summer season. And then I think, it's with respect to Nicholas thing, it offering, say, if you don't want the cart pass, offer that in as a credit with the pro shop, so somebody could use it for either greens fees or merchandise through the shop.
One other thing on the prizes, could we make them transferable? Say somebody did draw the cart pass and didn't want it, could they sell that to a friend? That's something we need to discuss too, make them transferable.
I wouldn't care. They
You're
weren't a cart
still
pass,
gonna have
it
the
doesn't
same
matter.
expense, no matter.
Yeah.
The person to draw it is the one whose name is entered on it. In your
What
record.
if I want a season pass, right? And I wanted to give it to a friend, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. As we're talking and as we're thinking, about this kind of stuff, my mind went, why wouldn't we sell, just like Nicholas said, why wouldn't we sell 2,400 tickets versus 2,000? Then the additional money, if we sold out, that additional 4,000 then could pay for all these little prizes that we're talking about adding to the thing. And then we're not shy of the $20,000 goal.
Well, that would help make up that, discount for buying it.
Right, and it would take care of some of that discount. Not everybody's gonna take advantage of the discount, but quite a few people would. Then we'd be closer to our goal at the end of it.
So if I can get the Ladies League to donate a cart pass, how am I gonna know how much it is in 2025?
We would sell it to you for a 2024 rate,
Which is how much?
$450.
450.
So we'd sell it to you at this year's rate, just like the season pass, it's gonna be. It's not that it's sold because it was donated by the commission, but any of those things is gonna be at this year's rate.
Are we off?
I don't know what happens.
But I think that makes a little more sense to sell more than the max, especially running a discount. Like Nicholas said, you're gonna be shy of money.
Yeah, I think if you're open to making as much money as possible, I think a discount is probably the way to go. But if you're limited, by whatever city ordinance or anything, but that you can only raise this much, then you just stick to the one ticket. But if you raise as many and sell as many as you want, I think you need a discount personally.
There was no restrictions as to the amount that we could
No,
try to attempt to raise.
Yeah.
Or put on anything from the city or anything in the guidelines for raffles. That's not restricted. It's just that you do have to stop date for your sale, the basic ones. Good record keeping of all the sales of the tickets and awarding who won the prizes and keep all these records for 12 months.
And is there,
Anything else it's pretty wide open, basically.
and you're saying you're going to Allegra for paper, is there a way to avoid the cost of paper and put this all digitally and maybe even sell them online?
There's another form that we need to get. Form 46, if we wanted to sell them online,
Okay,
that you get from the Department of Revenue. We could do maybe a combination of them. A lot of people want to have that. I'm giving you $50 and I'm gonna get 5 tickets. They wanna see their name written on the top, the stub, and then they want a piece of paper that.
And they don't, and this, since it's over such a long period of time, they don't have to have that actual stub if they
No.
lose it, okay.
No, we'll have.
We'll
Right,
have-
that's what I figured, I
That's
just-
that's the key is
Yeah.
even if you lost your ticket, your name is still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that ticket that we drew.
Just wanted to make sure.
Stub That was.
You don't have to have that.
I figured that just,
Could, when you do the drawing, could the person that gets the winning ticket first, like, select the prize that they want, leaving the rest of the pool available to the next person?
I don't think people are gonna be present during the drawing.
Yeah,
Not, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You're talking 2,000
yeah,
tickets. I just don't think they're gonna be present. I
That's
think we
right.
just stick to
yeah.
a drawing
Regimen.
order and follow that.
well, that's, I mean, that's a good question. Are you guys gonna have like a drawing party with like munis or anything like
Where
that?
we were talking about it, we don't have that
Scheduled.
scheduled or anything yet.
Okay,
But it is something that. You do have to have a drawing that is open for the public to attend.
Yeah, and that's fine.
You know, and that's one of the things that. Is another selling point, you know, is that we still have a couple, hey. Maybe an hour before the start of the drawing is when the ticket sales are cut off. Just so that we make sure any sales are put in the bin and then it starts to be. To be mixed good, cause you want it to be fair for everyone that is.
Well, I think we've got a good start here. I think we do $10 a ticket. And I think I personally think we print up 2,500 tickets.
I agree with you.
Whether we sell all 2,500 or not, anything over 2,000, we're gonna give us enough money to buy, help supplement these prizes and other stuff. And then as far as all these other particulars, we can work those out once we get these prizes and stuff. I mean, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but
What are you thinking on the bundle price, the discount?
the what?
What are you thinking for the bundle price?
I like the 1 for 10, the 5 for 45, and the 10 for 80,
if we do something like that.
or something similar to that. I mean, we could come up with a price for that.
10 for 80? Is that what was suggested?
Mhm.
80 or 90?
Well, Nicholas said
80, yeah.
80 drives you to strive. The 90, but we could do 90. I mean, I don't care. Makes no difference to me.
Well, if you go with the 10 for 80, that gives you more of an incentive to sell 10 tickets.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just, if it's twice what you get for 5,
Then
there's no reason. to
buy
do it.
2 5.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't buy it,
Yeah.
I'll just buy 5. Yeah. Or,
This is Doug again. Can I ask a question?
yes, Doug,
Just a quick note. I agree with what you're talking about right now. I think we need to raise as many tickets as we can. One of the reasons too, why we need to probably raise more than 20,000 is just because of the bidding and construction going on right now. I mean, we've got a rough estimate. This thing costs $20,000. Who knows? When we get ready to put this thing in a year from now, it's not going to cost $22,000 to put this thing in. So I think we should never try to say we're just going to sell, 1,500 or 2,000 or 2,500. We just got to try to sell as many damn tickets as we can to make it go. And I agree with what you guys are talking about. I think if you bundle them a little bit, it does give an incentive to do that, because I'm going to probably buy, 10, 20 of them anyway. So that's my thoughts.
Well, and I'm just talking for printing purposes. I mean, I could get 3,000 tickets printed up if we wanted to. Just once we get this settled, I mean, I could order. The price difference between 2,500 or 2,000 tickets and 3,000 tickets isn't gonna be a lot.
Yeah,
No.
especially if there's a cutoff.
Once they're already started printing them and running through the machines. But then to reprint, let's say we sell out, that was my point, is pick a number. I mean, because the reprint is gonna be a whole new fee. Very similar to the first one.
Yeah, I think that knowing how much is each level of number is gonna cost would help you with that decision too.
If that's the case, I would suggest we print 3,000 and have them.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And because it's probably gonna be what, $25-30 difference, I don't know, I don't know what their rates are, but it's like you say, it's.
Well, all I know is if you order 2,000 and you sell out and you want more, for another 1,000, it's gonna cost you the same price as the 2,000, pretty close. Because there's a setup fee,
It's not more.
if not more, yeah.
In answer to one of Doug's concerns too, my understanding that the installation is gonna be done by Public Works, is that correct, Doug? By the city would handle the construction and installation, so our inflation costs would be for however much pipe costs. And what the difference is, what the stations, if they would rise in price. We don't have a set price on those either at this point. We know approximately, if I'm correct. But when you go to order, it could be different. And it might be less, we don't know because of what the economy is doing.
I would assume it's gonna be more.
I would too. I wouldn't bake on anything going down in price right now.
Okay. Well, I think we got a pretty good start with this raffle, unless anyone else has any more comments with it,
You know, is there any other public comment? Or any comment from the board or? Hearing none, we do not have our Parks Director is unable to attend today's meeting. But could I go with the superintendent, Steve?
Yep, finally got some cold weather and snow, and we're expecting another 5 inches tomorrow. So we've been blowing off Muni's paths and plowing the lot. Had some Jeep troubles last week, but it worked today and we got it back up and plowing today. And we did have somebody charging at that charging station in front of our shop when we were trying to plow, so they were there for about 4 hours. So that's the first time I've seen anybody there. That was interesting. And then our office heater just died this weekend, so gotta look at replacing that. But other than that, that's not much else going on around the shop there. Any questions?
Get a little cold in there?
Yeah.
We didn't have any pipes freeze or anything.
No, we left the water cracked, and then the garage one is still working, so
The
we leave the
open.
door open and it gets enough to keep it from freezing, but not comfortable.
For Kitty.
And Kitty's, yeah, she's complaining. She went out to the garage to sleep.
You can go get one of those space heaters,
Yeah.
just for the time being.
Yeah, I'm looking at replacements, and I call it facilities, and then I went and bought like a little plug-in one that will help us for the meantime. That's it.
Golf Pro and operations,
We've been having issues with our simulators, 2 simulators. And I mean, it's so frustrating because I've been starting with these simulators. I started back in August, making sure all 3 were up and running in accordance, and that constant battle is, on 2 of them is still ongoing. So our simulator revenue is gonna be cut drastically. I bet we've lost $10,000-15,000 in potential revenue. Today I finally got a hold of, like a full swing executive, and, we're at the top of their tier after today. And so they've assigned us to like basically a super tech who's going to call me, should be calling me today to set up a schedule to try to alleviate these issues we're having. They're just glitches. And the hardest part for me to understand is, I'm at the mercy of someone else. I can't fix them. I've tried everything. I mean, we've probably got 30 phone calls into support to get these fixed. And, I mean, if it keeps continuing, it's happened every year since I've been here. I mean, we put $40,000 in these machines. And, we're not getting the product, I guess, that we should be getting out of them. Only one works pretty good. Our widescreen sim is the only one that really works pretty good. The other ones are they're just glitchy. So, if this continues to happen and keeps happening, I mean, down the road, we're probably gonna wanna switch out, keep our boxes, keep everything, but switch to a different simulator process. That's in the back of my mind too.
Does Green Meadow have the same product?
They switched
They
to
switched.
what's called,
Lightsville?
no, what's the other one? The one that they use on tour,
Yeah. I can't
TrackMan.
track that thing.
So TrackMan it's a different type of a setup. The unit's cheaper. You do need the box, you do need stuff like that. But it's a one-time fee. I think they're around $18,000 a unit. And then you just use your existing computer and all that kind of stuff that we already own. But they don't have near the issues. It's not quite as user-friendly. But the visual and the playability is a little bit better. But we're just continuing to have problems. I mean, it seems every week, all we do is try to fix these sims. It's an issue, so. Anyway, just want you guys to be aware of that. I mean, we're working every single week to try to fix these. And we're unfortunately at the mercy of a company who calls in to fix them. This time I think they might send a person, but anyway, we're working on that. Also working on, our card advertising sales. We're up to, I think we're up to 14 sold now that have actually paid. So that's going pretty good, and we still haven't really put a big push out on it yet, so we're gonna try to do that. We're also going to work on trying to do an incentive to buy your pass before the end of February. Incentive being, buy your pass, and then, again, I kind of got the idea from the raffle, not to take away from the raffle, but if you buy your pass before the end of February, you go in for a drawing for a custom tailor-made driver. Just as an incentive, people that don't wanna, people that have the money, I'm just trying to entice them to buy before February, just to alleviate the lines that we have, come March or the first round that a person plays, because it takes 7 to 10 minutes per customer to sell a pass and get them entered into the system properly. If we can alleviate that the first day that we open, or at least some of it. Last year was like a dream. We sold, 50% of our passes before January, the end of January. And when we first opened, we didn't have those lines like we did the previous year. So we're just trying to incentivize people a little bit to buy before the end of February. Other than that, Munis is still, been doing pretty good. The cold weather, the cold snap has kind of put a damper on all of our business. But we still stayed pretty strong during the cold snap, so. We've been still booking parties like this Saturday. We got a full closure on Saturday for Munis. They pay a fee for that. An additional fee to close it down, and then, we'll have close to a $2,000 day. When on average, we're running about $800 a day to $1,000 a day in Munis. So that's nice.
Wow.
And just, there's just a lot of stuff to do, the planning, already got 5 tournaments booked for next year. Scheduling, sending out stuff, and just trying to make our processes better. When you get an employee who this instance happens, how do they know how to handle it? So make an employee handbook or process manuals and all this kind of stuff, so. Doing pretty good. Credit book expiration went pretty good. people that didn't use their credit, if it was over the $20 mark. We purchased them something, so it's just sitting in the back. So as people come in, we're trying to get them their merchandise, which, you know, guy came in the other day and he had $50 in credit. He wasn't worried about it. He didn't make the effort, but we handed him a dozen balls and he thought that was the greatest thing ever that we took care of it.
Did it for me too, it's great.
Well, and did it for Nicholas. Just a little deal to get people used to, hey, your credit expires, but we don't want you to lose it.
Chris has his
Gotta
hand.
get it off the books.
Oh,
You know,
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I just had a question, Todd, on the days when you close munis like this Saturday we're talking about. Is there a way to let the public know that munis is gonna be closed that day so they don't show up and then get to the door and?
We'll have that posted on our website and on our Facebook page and Uni's Facebook page, and we'll have a sign up for that.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the issues that we were talking about at our last meeting, and I'm sorry that Doug couldn't be here with us, but he was talking about lighting at the entryway, streetlights. Has anyone heard any progress on that, Steve or?
Doug sent us an email, so that has been brought up in the directors' meetings. And it's so the discussion started for that.
Good.
And I had also a separate meeting on, the city wants to put in a solar panel to power munis and the maintenance facility in front of somewhere around that cart barn. And so we had a meeting on that with like Public Works, and they talked about solar lighting around for that sign and around that intersection there. So it's being discussed at a couple different levels right now, so it's kind
So
of.
that's moving forward. It's gonna take a while, but it is
Yeah.
moving forward. It's just it's such a dangerous turn in with that crosswalk right there,
It
and
is.
there is no light. I mean, I'm not gonna say I hit anybody, but you know, as you're turning in there, if someone's hidden behind the sign and you turn in, you don't see them.
Careful.
It's an issue, especially when it's dark. And that path is walked a lot.
Yes, it is.
So anyway, I'm happy that's moving forward.
Very good, very good. Leaves, Kathy, have you, nothing?
We've
you
been
have to-
out, no.
Doug, anything new other than I know that you have a board meeting on Thursday night? Anything else to contribute?
No, we just got a board meeting Thursday. I was just gonna ask real quick, Todd, you or Corey gonna be there, one of you?
I'll be there.
Okay, sounds good. I'll just give you all my questions when I talk to you on Thursday night then. And I would just, as far as the raffle stuff is concerned, one of the things I'm gonna bring up at the meeting is how much money the men's league is probably willing to contribute to the raffle or the drink thing out there and stuff. And we'll be a minimum of $1,000 for sure. We'll probably be more than that, but just pass that on to the board. So you guys try to stay warm.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
All right.
Any public comment for items not on this agenda? Hearing none. Next meeting is
February 20th.
February 20th. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion that the January meeting be adjourned.
Seconded.
Second. Yeah.
Second. Right. Meeting adjourned. We'll see everyone on
February.
February 20th.
Thanks a lot. So long.
thank you, Doug.